First at 4, we have not been this warm since September of last year, and we're going to get even warmer tomorrow afternoon. Find out what happens after that coming up. Sandra?
All right, Ben. Also first at 4, Governor Whitmer gets her first COVID shot and has a double dose of advice about what we need to do to beat the virus. Paula?
2 months ago, this nurse was basking in the warm Florida sun at the Super Bowl. Today, she is knee-deep again in COVID patients, and she's begging people to help turn this thing around. It is a wow, and not the good wow.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali in for Karen Drew. First at 4, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is standing firm during Michigan's new COVID surge. She says the state's policies don't need to change, but you may need to change some of your behavior. The governor says one of those changes is making sure you and your older children get vaccinated. She got her first Pfizer shot in front of the cameras at Ford Field today. The governor also brought one of her daughters, encouraging families to vaccinate children 16 years and older. Whitmer says there are 2 keys to beating this virus.
That's why the vaccine is so important. 95% plus efficacy. Guess what else has 95% plus efficacy? A mask, which is why we have to do both until we get to that plus 70% of our eligible population vaccinated.
Here are the very latest numbers now from the state. We've seen nearly 5,000 new cases in the past 24 hours. That's a decrease from the past few days, but the 7-day positivity rate is still above 14%. As of Monday, the highest since early December. We've also seen 58 additional deaths since yesterday. President Biden expected to push all states now to open vaccinations to all adults by April 19th. That's 2 weeks earlier than expected. Michigan already allows anyone over 16 years old to get vaccinated. That started just yesterday. Many people across the country are talking about this crowd right here at this baseball game. You may have seen this. The Texas Rangers, the first major league team to lift all capacity limits. Nearly 40,000 people filled Globe Life Field in Arlington last night. And as you can see here, masks were required, but many people really did not wear them. Experts say the desire to get back to normal too soon could put us all in a very dangerous position.
And I'm willing to guess that most of the people in that park yesterday were probably not vaccinated. So let's do the right thing. Let's not get ourselves in a position where every state ends up looking like Michigan and we are back in mass lockdown because we're seeing kids and young adults getting hospitalized and potentially dying. We don't want to get there. We don't have to get there.
Coming up tonight at 5, Dr. Frank McGeorge will talk about Michigan residents contracting COVID after getting vaccinated, what we all need to know. Then at new at 6, the push to get younger people vaccinated, why it's the next front in the battle against the virus. Plus, we're also tracking the vaccines for people all over Metro Detroit, and you can find information on where to get your shots at clickondetroit.com. We're following some breaking news right now out of Ferndale. Take a look here. This is the intersection of 8 Mile and Woodward. A fire official telling us a tanker truck and that white car right there collided. 3 people who were in that car have been taken to the hospital. The driver in the tanker has minor injuries. All the westbound lanes on 8 Mile are now closed. 2 eastbound lanes have also been shut down. Try to avoid that area if you can. General Motors is powering up its commitment now to building the vehicles of the future right here in Metro Detroit. Today, the company's president announced Chevrolet will introduce a Silverado electric pickup that will be built at GM's Factory Zero assembly plant in Detroit and Hamtramck. GM plans to deliver more than 1 million electric vehicles globally by 2025. The local UAW applauding the news with a statement that reads in part, and this is a quote, GM has committed to UAW members, their families, and the Detroit and Hamtramck community a future on the cutting edge of mobility. UAW members are excited to be part of this future. In your first forecast today on this Tuesday, we are getting pretty close to 80 degrees this afternoon. Some of you, in fact, might be tempted to turn on your AC. Let's go ahead and check in with Ben and see what our evening is going to look like. Hey there, Ben.
Sandra, it's just nice to get the windows open for a change, but you're right. We are knocking on the door of 80 in a couple spots. Flint is at 79. Ann Arbor's at 78 right now, and we're checking in at 77 officially at Metro Airport. But here's some even better news. It gets even warmer tomorrow, so we'll top these numbers. But just the stuff that we're looking at today, 20 to 25 degrees warmer than what we did yesterday, which wasn't all that bad considering the time of year that we are in right now. Temperatures sliding into the 60s, so midnight tonight we're still going to be at 61 degrees. There's still a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, especially in the north zone. So we'll continue to track that and look for better chances of rain as we head towards the weekend. That's all in a few minutes. Sandra?
All right, thank you, Ben. In other news, another community is left asking what happened after a Navy medic shot 2 people inside an office park in Maryland. We're told the 2 victims are U.S. Navy sailors and they are critically injured. The Navy also confirming the 38-year-old gunman drove from the office park to Fort Detrick, where he was shot and later died. Right now, the investigation is just getting started. There's no word on a possible motive. Investigators won't say if the gunman knew his victims. Testimony continues for the 7th day in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. The prosecution now really focusing on the Minneapolis Police Department's policies on the use of force. Devin Skillian is in the newsroom this afternoon tracking what's happening now in the courtroom. Devin?
Yes, Sandra, lawyers for the prosecution and the defense are using the testimony to determine whether Chauvin violated police policy when he knelt on George Floyd for more than 9 famous minutes. Chauvin has pleaded not guilty to murder and manslaughter charges stemming from Floyd's death. Well, today, the jury heard from Lieutenant Johnny Mercil, who trained Chauvin on the use of force techniques. Prosecutors say his actions were not consistent with the way that officers have been taught to restrain people who are resisting arrest. The defense argues Chauvin did as he was trained to do over his 19-year career. Mercil testified that using a knee on a subject's neck is not part of the training, but that isn't unauthorized when using force. Prosecution then asked when it would not be authorized.
I don't know if there's a time frame. It would depend on the circumstances of the time.
Which would include what?
The type of resistance you're getting from the subject that you're putting the knee on.
And so if there was, say for example, the subject was under control and handcuffed, would this be authorized?
I would say no.
Also today, the judge delayed testimony from Maurice Hall, Floyd's friend, who was with him during the encounter with Chauvin. Hall plans to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights, though, in an effort to not testify. Now, Hall could be a key witness for the defense. The judge is asking for questions in writing for the court to review. Court's still in session right now, so we'll have an update coming up here at 5. Sandra, back to you.
All right, Devin, we'll see you then. Many of us are very frustrated and nervous when we hear about Michigan's latest COVID surge, and we wondered how frontline workers are feeling about the dramatic rise in the numbers. Our Paula Tutman caught up with a nurse who's gone from a Super Bowl high to a new COVID low, and that nurse has a message for all of you.
It doesn't take long for a dream to fade when you're a nurse attending COVID patients in a hospital. This was Carol St. Henry, a nurse anesthetist at St. Joseph Mercy in Pontiac almost 2 months ago to the day. February 7th, she was basking in the warm sun in Florida with a personal invite to the Super Bowl by the commissioner himself for being a frontline worker.
And I actually got a letter back from Mr. Goodell because I sent him a thank you for having me there, and he sent me a thank you for the thank you on letterhead with his name signed to it.
But today feels like forever ago. In February, the vaccines were rolling out, the numbers were going down, there was hope within sight. But with the recent surge in cases, that hope has slipped below the horizon.
You know, I talked to a friend of mine who's a physician. She looks at me and she's like, I've got 20 patients again. So, you know, it's like, oh my God, will we catch a break from this?
At the 5 hospitals in the St. Joseph Mercy system in southeastern Michigan, the numbers are dire. Dr. Anu Milani is the infectious disease physician and the medical director for infection prevention and control for the St. Joseph Mercy Health System.
As of a couple of weeks ago, you know, we had less than 20 patients hospitalized. You know, we were probably in the 10 to 20 range. Now we're in the 80 to 90 range of patients that are hospitalized, specifically in Ann Arbor. Those numbers are going up every day.
From 2 weeks ago, they went up from, I believe we had about 8 people here, single digit. Now 2 weeks later, we're at 50. So you're hoping that trends down again, but spring break happened.
And it's hard to wrap your head around.
It's exhausting. You know, oh my God, not again. Like, why can't people just wear a mask?
The hospitals are filling up. Younger and younger people are occupying those beds. People are dying again. And the frontline workers who've done all they can to get their communities to a place where they can vaccinate and suit up against the virus are watching helplessly as some choose not to arm themselves for the fight.
It's not political. It's here. People are still dying of this. It's very serious. Let's just get vaccinated if you can.
These doctors and nurses I spoke to acknowledge that the public has COVID fatigue and they are exhausted too. But they also want to remind everyone that COVID-19 doesn't care. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
And the healthcare professionals we spoke to today say while today's COVID infection numbers are deeply concerning, they are very worried about the next 2 weeks as families return from spring break. Still ahead, new developments in the latest controversy to mix sports and politics. We are going to talk about the All-Star game, plus also another troubling sign for the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, a new setback in the preparations for the games. But first, racing to prevent a disaster, the massive effort to prevent a wall of water from sweeping into homes and businesses. We're going to tell you how it's going up next.
What does it mean to be fully vaccinated?
What changes? What stays the same? And what have I changed in my own life since being fully vaccinated myself?
Tomorrow on Local 4 News Today.